Are you having a hard time in Ranked League? Are you sitting in the dregs of the dreaded Elo hell that is iron through gold basically these days, and platinum to an extent, piss low basically? Is this where we all sit here right now? Well, you come to the right channel and to the right video, because I'm going to be talking about just how difficult it is to play League. I made this channel specifically to talk about League, to help people who want to get better at the game, at least at the lower elos, because that's where I sit. I sit in gold. Not gonna lie, I'm not a challenger player. I'm not even diamond or platinum, but I'm in gold, and I'm trying to help people get into gold at least. That's kind of the goal of the channel. But for some reason, even these days, it is difficult among all the different ranks to play the game, and there's a real big problem with just the League games, and specifically ranked League games, that I want to talk about in this video. Now, this difficulty, I want to just preface, has nothing to do with champions really, has nothing to do with game mechanics or anything like that. There really isn't too much of a problem with the game itself. I mean, there's definitely issues. I mean, talking about that Janna. Why is Janna up there? I don't know why Janna is the way she is. What the fuck? Riot kind of screwed up with that one, not gonna lie. Now, you could say the difficulty with playing the game really has to lie in playing the game with other players. Ah, my God. Now, I love League.
Stop the cap.
I love the game. I'm gonna say that straight up. Like, I love playing the game. The game is fun for me. The champions are fun to play. There's some champions I don't like playing against, but still the game overall is fun by itself. But it comes down to players, right? People say that League is filled with toxic players. There's many memes about League players. I mean, the whole Yasuo meme was for, you know, 10 death power spike and all that jazz. Bad mentality all around. But I'd argue that that has a lot to do with just competitive play in general, not just about League as a whole as a game. Does the game itself promote this bad behavior? You could think maybe it's not the players, but the game has certain mechanics and things that promote bad behavior. There are games that have that issue in the past. I mean, we talked about games like with World of Warcraft. If you listen to some people talk about it, actually like promotes bad behavior. Other games where it's just like the champions themselves make, like, the characters you play give incentive to be kind of an asshole some of the time. I mean, think about Yasuo, Yone, Master Yi, etc. All those champions, kind of like all or nothing champions, really require you to play kind of like a dick most of the time and try to get ahead as fast as possible. I would say not that this is kind of a moot point, because anything competitive will always have people vying to prove that they're closely related to a trash compactor.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Really, just competitive nature and competitive environment is going to bring out the worst in most people, or the best. I try my best to say have good mental. I try my best to have good mental. I try my best to be polite to the people I'm playing with, even if they're being assholes to me. And I try to help them as much as possible if I can. That might be the wrong mentality, but it's the mentality I want to stick to, because I'd rather play a game that is playing with people who are trying their best and are, you know, brought up, not knocked down. And yeah, that's just me. It might be cringy, it might be copium, but I'm just like, you know, meh. But I'd argue that the biggest problem here, and the real problem, is the game doesn't have great tools to combat toxic nature or toxic culture in general inside the community. Right now, we have tools to deal with toxic players. We have muting and reporting in Champ Select, which was added recently. It's been the most recent addition to the kind of community tools or reporting tools, or like just general tools that we have to deal with players we don't want to play with. We've done things in the game that are like ban worthy. We can turn off all chat, which I do quite frequently. So there's no reason for me to communicate with the enemy team most of the time. I keep my microphone just keeps like lower and lower. I will try my best to keep it held up. Swapping hands. You can also mute individual people in the game. You can mute specific people. You can mute even pings. You can mute even emotes. Like, you can mute all this stuff, because you just try to take away most of the stuff that could try to trigger you. If you know that you are someone who gets triggered really easily in the game, who really gets mauled out of their mind. And obviously the most common thing that's been in the game the most is reporting in the post game. So after the game, you can hit the little exclamation point and try to report people who have like inappropriate names, things that are racist, homophobic, misogynistic, or just like anything that is done anything bad in the game. You can report them after the game. But is it really enough? And I want to do another little tangent, a little preface here, is that I am not trying to solve the issue. I have no solution, because I am not a game dev. I haven't had a community long enough to really determine the best ways to monitor and moderate that kind of behavior. So I have no idea. I just want to make it aware and kind of start the conversation maybe, and maybe give some ideas that I have that are really just general, not really specific. But really, is any of this enough? And to be honest, as it has shown, really no. It hasn't been enough lately or even in the past. If I think about the past few years, back, I think a couple years ago, I don't know if it was a year, I think it was 2020, where there was a big push, especially after a lot of high-ranking Twitch players, I mean, specifically like Voyboy sitting on Staircase, if I remember whose Voyboy he is, but there was a big push to try to improve the community tools, improve the reporting tools, and things like that. But really, all they did was add muting and reporting in Gem Select. That was the biggest thing. They might have changed some other stuff internally with the game, and maybe some things on their end of the game, but I don't think it changed very much. Didn't really help out very much. I mean, it's kind of nice to mute people you don't want to listen to, but the muting only goes so far, and the reporting only goes so far. And specifically reporting, I don't think really does enough in the first place. Reporting, what do? You report people who are leaving your games. Someone gets angry, their mental booms, and they freaking just leave the game. They disconnect entirely and they don't come back. You're put in a situation where you're a 4v5. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible to win a 4v5, but it definitely is very likely you're going to lose that game. You have people who grief intentionally. I've had in the past, I'll tell you one story. I don't remember exactly the game. It was quite a while ago, but it'll be burned into my freaking retina. It's burned into my subconscious. I think I have dreams about this particular interaction with this individual. I don't remember what champion they were playing, but I was definitely playing a mid lane champ, and I was doing all fine, oh okay, and someone was like, oh man, I forgot to call missing. I forgot to ping missing for my mid laner. Oh no, whoopsie doodle. I made a boo-boo. Top laner, guess what? He got 3-man top lane, Sag, and he started getting angry at me. He started getting angry at the jungler. He was like, what the fuck? So he got so angry after this one death, and it wasn't even like 5th death. We're talking like 1st or 2nd death top lane. It wasn't even doing too badly even. Comes down into my mid lane, starts taking all my farm, all of my experience, and then that would be bad. I would probably have reported him for that, but then I was really sure I was going to report him. Was for then proceeding to run into my enemy under their tower and continuously feed them gold. I've never experienced this level of debauchery, and I don't know if they were human. Like, what normal person legit just like goes and does that to their teammate? I know it probably happens to a lot of people, but it has happened to me in the past, and that's something that is just not acceptable to me. I'm just like, why does it happen? Now, this happened a few years ago. It's not something that happened very recently, but things have happened to me recently that have caused me to believe that just there isn't enough tools, and the punishments probably are not enough to keep people from just harassing you, leaving the games, and griefing intentionally, and a bunch of other things that they could do to you. Like, I have never been banned. I've never been suspended from the game because I'm generally a quiet person in the game. I'll try to troll around. I'll try to get people angry for no reason. I'll try to do that kind of stuff. Like, I'll shit talk a little bit, but that's it. Like, that's kind of normal competitive banter. I believe when you get suspended, it's like for 2 weeks, and you can get banned for a certain amount of time, like a month or something. I don't know what the numbers are, and I should probably look them up before I made this video. And if you know what the numbers are, please tell me down in the comments below. I don't know if they're enough. I don't know if the punishments are enough, and what's stopping. And say you punish someone for a longer period of time or just permanently, what's stopping them from making another account with another Gmail account and then going and just doing the same thing all over again? What's stopping someone from coming back from a suspension or ban and then just behaving the same way possible? Now, you could say that's just human nature and that person just has to work on themselves, but I can't change the people. I can't change the player. I just rather change the people I'm playing with. Now, I feel like it's a lot easier for people in higher elos because there's fewer people in the higher elos. I mean, if we're talking about maybe Master, Grandmaster, or above, there's way fewer people, and you get to know those people a little bit more. Down here with the plebs, with the freaking Pistlow elo people, we don't know anyone. There's so many of us. How am I supposed to know that this person in particular is like, man, I know that person is a complete garbage pail that has shit in it. Like, I can't keep from playing them with them. I can't keep them away from me. All I can do is I don't want to listen to them ever again. I can block them. And all that does is stop their messages from popping up. So I don't know if that's enough. I don't know it's enough. And that this is a bad idea. I'm gonna say straight up, this is a terrible idea. That should never be implemented. But something that is something, maybe there's something, a way to change it, or to like modify it, or it's something, a different idea that's very similar that can maybe be better to implement to stop this. For me to pick particularly not play with that person. And I know that's kind of, that would be bad for the game, obvi, because then queue times would be massive and everyone would just not play with anyone. That would be totally bad idea. And why am I, you're like, Alex, but then why are you saying it? Because there has to be some version of that idea that might be better. Like something, like maybe put them in a lower priority or something. Maybe not directly like say, I'm never gonna play with that person. Put them in a lower priority to play with you or something like that. Higher elo people already have a hard time with queue times. So maybe take away that power later on when there's less people to play with. I don't know, it's just something so that I don't have to deal with these people ever again, because not that I've never noticed, because again, gold, like I'd say, like especially gold and below, there's so many players that you could end up playing with and it doesn't even matter at that point. So yeah, then there's obviously other reasons why ranked is hard. There's smurfing, which is going to be an entirely new video, or a different video, but I'm not going to do with that. But that's really all I wanted to talk about. Again, this isn't really me coming up with solutions. I gave a few things that I thought might be good additions to the whole community systems, reporting systems that we have. But really, I just wanted to start a discussion. That's what this type of video is going to be about. Like these types of videos, I want to have like serious discussions about some of the things that are in the game, because I love the game and I want the game to be the best version of itself, because I would like this game to last a long time. I mean, it's going to, but I want to last a long time, and I like to enjoy playing the game again. Not that I don't enjoy, I've had some plenty good experiences in the game with people, lovely people I've been played with, but it's just been really just increasingly worse people to play with. And you know, it might be the beginning of the season, that's probably the problem, or something like that. That could be a number of things that crop up the worst players ever. I'm not talking about skill-wise, I'm just talking about people. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think down below. Please, I want these to be a discussion where we talk about these things. I love engaging with you guys and talking about stuff, and it helps the video out too if you comment. So do that. Please do leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to keep toxic people out of League of Legends. Every subscription bans a toxic player for life. That simple. Just hit the red button right there. Yeah. I also stream on Twitch Friday, Saturday, Sunday every week, 5 p.m. EST. Please do come and join us for some fun. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Oh yeah, new mic, by the way. I totally even say that. Bye-bye. Bye.